Hi everyone, happy Friday. Thank you for tuning in today. I am coming to you live from a beautiful surprise sunny morning here in Vancouver, British Columbia. As you can see, my little plant jungle behind me here is getting some sunlight today, which is very much appreciated. I hope wherever you are tuning in from, you're having a really great day as well. I've been looking forward to this session all week. Today we are talking about cough and cold products. So 'tis the season, we're right in the middle of February. This is the time of year where a lot of people start to experience the sneezing and the sniffling, a little bit of the cough and whatnot. So like I said, I'm excited because today we're going to take you through a whole host of products that are designed to really support your wellness, not just during cough and cold season, but also just with the idea of staying well all year long. So we're going to talk about some new items, some items that are part of our core collection. So without further ado, my name is Kristin. I'm the National Educator here at Saje. It's my privilege and honor every week to have the opportunity to chat products, to talk about the ways that plant-based products can really support your personal wellness, and that's why I love doing this every week. So without further ado, let's get started with product number one. This is brand new. So this is our hand sanitizer. I'm gonna get that rotated there properly. So this is a much anticipated product. We've been waiting for this to join our collection for a really long time, and we launched two brand new sizes of hand sanitizer just back in January. So the one I have here, the 100 milliliter 3.4 fluid ounce, this is actually the small size. So there is a larger size, and we like to think about these as being for sort of on the go, so you can tuck this into your backpack or your purse, and then a larger size that you can use at home. So one thing I want to celebrate before we talk about the formula is that both of our hand sanitizers in Canada and the US have been recognized with the local governing bodies in terms of their efficacy and quality of ingredients to match the requirements for hand sanitizers to be recognized. So just to break that down a little bit further, in Canada, we work with Health Canada, and what we do is we license our products as natural health products, so an NHP, and they're assigned what's called a natural product number, so an NPN. And then in the US, the FDA regulates as something called an OTC or an over-the-counter. And again, what this means and why we celebrate this is the products have received designations that are really recognizing that they've met all of the standards. As we know with hand sanitizer in specific, I'm thinking about the CDC, so the Center for Disease Control, and the World Health Organization and their requirements in terms of alcohol percentage. So they're recommending a hand sanitizer at a minimum of 60%. And I am happy to announce that we have well exceeded that with our version at a 68%. So I'm going to talk about the three key ingredients in the blend, the first being the grain alcohol. So again, as mentioned, 68% alcohol infusion. And then the next two ingredients are more about how the formula sort of works with our hands. So the first is aloe vera leaf juice. We've added this ingredient specifically for hand conditioning. So we know that we want our skin to feel soft, we want it to feel supple. We know that with increased hand washing and then the use of hand sanitizers, we're looking at some dehydration, sometimes some irritation to the skin. So aloe vera can be really conditioning and again, add that little extra moisture boost. And then the key ingredient here outside of the alcohol is actually the lime essential oil. So we have small batch distilled this lime from Peru. It comes to us from the rind of the fruit. It has a really bright, a really crisp, a really clean sort of scent. A lot of people have said it smells like a mojito. I'm not going to comment on that, but I do really enjoy the freshness. So I'm going to show you how we recommend using our hand sanitizers, which are sprays. So this isn't a gel concentrate, it's a spray formula. So I'm going to remove the lid, just give it a good shake, and then you just want to spray to the hand. So just 1, 2, 3, whatever feels good for you. A couple of things here. The recommendations from the CDC are about applying to the entire surface of the hands and between the fingers for about 20 to 30 seconds. So you really want to allow for the product to fully absorb and to fully dry on the skin in order to reach its maximum efficacy. And then what I want to say here is most important to me is this, my friends, not sticky. So if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you'll know that my biggest pet peeve when it comes to products for the skin, so anything from lotions to body butters, is anything that sits heavy, sticky, or greasy. And so I know over the last year, I've definitely used some hand sanitizers that have a little bit of that extra stick. So this one does not. I'm really excited about this formula. So as mentioned, these are brand new, available in store. Oop, there goes the lid. In store and online in the two sizes that we mentioned. So that's hand sanitizer. The second product I'm going to talk about today sort of goes hand in hand with the sanitizers. This is a lotion called Safe Hands. So let's have a peek at it there. For our friends in the United States, you'll know this line of products as Clean Hands. So I'm going to go ahead and open the box. And this is, again, a moisturizing product that you're going to want to use after all of the hand washing and the hand sanitizing. So again, in accordance with the CDC and with the WHO, the recommendations are always to start with hand washing. So whenever available, clean water and soap, hand sanitizer as a second option. And then I like to say that the third most important piece really should be about moisture replenishment. So that's what the product looks like outside of the box. I want to mention that the Safe Hands and the Clean Hands line of lotions, they are available in larger sizes. So this is a great sort of pocket size or travel size. And then there are sizes you can use at home as well. So starting with the base of the product, you have aloe vera in here as well. You have a mango seed oil, a shea butter oil. These are all ingredients that are going to be conditioning and again, really allow for moisture replenishment, but they're not going to sit heavy on your skin. In terms of the essential oils, I don't think about this blend as being either like fruity or floral. This is a really cleansing formula. So starting with the ingredient patchouli, patchouli is known to be very earthy. There's also tea tree. There's an oil called cajeput, which is sort of comparable to a tea tree, has more of that sort of clean and medicinal aroma. And then there's also thyme, which I'm going to talk about more in one of our upcoming products. So this is a really popular formula for people who are looking for that sort of cleansing. A lot of essential oils in aromatherapy are renowned for their ability to help repel bacteria and germs, and you get a high percentage concentration of those oils in this formula. So again, thinking of sort of your 1-2 punch, you have a sanitizer, you have a hand lotion to keep your hands feeling awesome. So that's products 1 and 2. The next we're going to talk about is actually a kit, and this one is called Get Well. Get Well contains 3 of my favorite products to use year round, so not just when I'm feeling under the weather. And I love that last year we actually put the 3 of them together. So this is what it looks like, sort of leaning towards the inside. Starting with the packaging, I celebrate that we have our logo here for I Used to Be a Water Bottle, and that's a recycled rPET fabric. And then I'm going to talk about the 3 products inside. So starting with number 1 is our Echinacea Throat Spray. This is a limited edition size and bottle available only in this kit. It is a nice, strong, and durable glass. And my friends, I never mince words when it comes to Echinacea Throat Spray. It doesn't taste good. In fact, it tastes awful. But what's really important to remember with this product is how effective it is. I always want to be clear, and I don't want to mislead anyone to say it's going to be like a breath spray. It is definitely not. But it's going to be very effective in doing its job, which is helping to support the throat and the respiratory system. So Echinacea is an herb that has been well studied for many years. Many people have thoughts about Echinacea being able to support a shortened duration of cough and cold symptoms, specifically if used at the onset. So just at the start when you're starting to get a bit of that tickle or any sort of scratchiness in the throat. Another key ingredient is licorice root. Licorice root, commonly referred to as a throat coat. So it has a sweetness, a bit of a sharpness that actually allows for a coating over the throat and again through the respiratory system. And what that does is it helps to minimize that urge to sort of cough. And that's what causes that sort of scratchiness and what can feel really sore over time. So when you're starting to soothe those with the ingredients that you find in a blend like this, you're going to find that you'll get relief from that coughing. I know for myself specifically, I love to use it at night. I find that just deep breathing through the night, I'll often wake myself up with a bit of a dry cough, or again, if I'm already feeling a bit under the weather, it can sort of get exacerbated at that time of night. So I'm a big, big fan. And once again, my friends, it tastes awful and it works. I think someone else already has that slogan though. Number 2, the product I'm so excited to talk about is our Immune Roll-On. For our friends in the United States, you'll know this as Fortify, and this is really the hero of our cough and cold line of products. This was formulated with all of the essential oils that are renowned in aromatherapy, specifically to support the respiratory system. So when you think about the formula, I'm going to go through a couple of them for you. Think of tea tree, cleansing, medicinal, known to really help repel bacteria and germs. Eucalyptus, which is very commonly referred to in aromatherapy as the breathing oil, so that gives you some information about how it's used to support your respiratory system. There's pine. I always like to think about a walk in the forest. and how often someone recommends getting out in nature to just take those nice deep breaths. So a great addition to the blend. And then there's geranium. Geranium's floral, but it's balancing. So it has a really nice effect on the body when something's feeling out of center. And the last ingredient I want to mention is cinnamon. Cinnamon's sort of the warm hug. That's the comforting ingredient in the blend. So when you think about applying Immune, you really have countless options. And I like to say, start where you think about cough and cold symptoms. So maybe you're sneezing, maybe you're congested or through your nose and your sinuses, obviously your throat, your chest, anywhere in that regard. So you can go right around the nasal cavity. I'm a fan of just a touch on my finger and then under my nose, of course, over your throat and your chest. Because the base of the product is grapeseed oil, it's safe for direct application to skin. So you can use it on the sinus area. So if you want to go above the eyebrow, under the cheekbones, we love something called the figure eight. So an application like this, you want to make sure you're not sort of cheating through your orbital here, but actually going underneath your cheekbone for maximum effect. Some people love this product on the bottom of their feet, again on the upper back, anywhere that feels good for you sort of intuitively when you're thinking about cough and cold relief. Another great tip from some of our team members here at Sage is to use the bottom end, which is a dropper. So this might be new for some of you, but that's your bottom end there. It has a little cap that flips up just like this. And then actually dropping a few drops into the shower to create almost like a steam. So almost like a eucalyptus steam, something you might experience at the spa. So many, many ways to keep this product as part of your arsenal throughout the year. And then the third product in the kit, again, if you've watched any of my sessions in the past, you know how much I love these guys. This is one of our nasal inhalers, and this is Fortified. So a very similar blend to the Immune and Fortified roll-on. What this looks like is just a small little hole here at the top, and this is for inhalation. So this is a nasal inhaler. Inside here is what's called a cotton tige. So it's just like a long strip of cotton. It's very absorbent. And so what we do is we really saturate with the essential oil blend, and this then becomes a personal use product. I love them for all of those reasons. So number one, low scent or no scent environments, being discreet, being personal use. What you want to do is just create a little bit of a block against the nostril, apply closely. And again, you don't want to stick it up there, but just against the nostril and breathe deeply. And then of course you can rotate, do it on both sides as often as you like. I just love this product. I find it very effective. So right in the moment of feeling any congestion, any pressure, again, the sneezing or anything, sometimes the tickle in the nose, I just love how it feels, and I think it works really quickly. So this kit is actually part of our current wellness feature. It's regularly priced at $38, and now it is on offer for $26 when you have purchased $40 or more. So if you're doing any shopping or catching up on any of your, stocking up rather on any of your Sage products this weekend, that might be something great to look into. Next up, we're going to talk about an age-old remedy. This is called Chest Cold. In the US, our friends, you'll know this as Chest Comfort, and this is a balm that's really comparable to a natural version of something like a Vicks Vapor Rub. I don't know about you, but I have these very fond memories of being a little one and getting sort of my rub down when I was feeling under the weather. I'm thinking about the throat, the chest, even the upper back. I'm going to open this up to show you what it looks like. A beautiful, fresh new balm for cough and cold season. What we have done here is used a base of beeswax and grapeseed oil, so really nice carriers to help bring the essential oils to the skin. And then your formula includes rosemary, so really warming, really comforting. Rosemary is a known anti-inflammatory, so it's going to help open up the chest cavity and open up the breathing system. You also have frankincense, Frankie Baby, my #1 favorite essential oil. I use this in everything from skincare, hair care, body care, and then of course for respiratory support as well. And then the last ingredient being eucalyptus, which again, we've talked about the breathing oil. So its inclusion in the formula makes a lot of sense. What I want to say, the biggest difference between like a vapor rub or anything that you'd know synthetically is it doesn't have a strong smell. So sometimes people smell the product and they'll say, I don't know, does that even work? Or they'll say, like, I can't really smell it. And the truth of the matter is with natural products, it's not really the scent that's the most effective piece here. It's really the working through the skin and into the bloodstream to support your respiratory system. So if you do want a bit of a boost in the fragrance department, what I like to suggest is taking one of those 3 essential oils I mentioned, so rosemary, frankincense, eucalyptus, and actually just adding 1 or 2 drops to the product. So what I would do is sort of take a small scoop in my hand add 1 or 2 drops, and that's important that you don't exceed that amount. That's really all you need for efficacy. And then just create a bit of an emulsion and then apply to the body. Sometimes I do like a little extra boost of that eucalyptus for the vapors to sort of move upwards towards the nose again if I'm feeling particularly under the weather. I also like to just rub my hands together with any remaining product and take a bit of a deep breath. So again, just getting that sort of multi-sensory experience. Another hot tip I've recently learned with the chest cold or the chest comfort balm is applying to the bottom of the feet. So if you're thinking about a warm pair of socks or slippers, and again, just getting a nice slather on there and allowing for that to move through your bloodstream to support you sort of head to toe. All right, what is next? The last 2 products I'm going to talk about today are both diffuser blends, and one was created for adults and one for children. So I'm going to start with the adult formula, which is from the Immune line, but I actually have the US version here, which is called Fortified Breeze. And so the thing I want to mention about this, within the Immune line, there's a whole host of products. So there's also a personal wellness mist, there's bath salt, and sometimes you see a small tweak in the formula. You'll see a couple ingredients included in a topical product that wouldn't be in an aromatic product, for example. So with the diffuser blend, 2 other oils that you see would be lemon, which number 1 is really well renowned in aromatherapy for its influence on cough and cold symptoms. And then the second being thyme. So thyme, I mentioned as well, was in the Safe Hands lotion. This is a very cleansing and very deodorizing essential oil. So what we find is that it doesn't have as much benefit topically as it does aromatically. So when we're breathing it in and we really have the experience of it in the air, our bodies use it as very cleansing. And then of course you still have your tea tree, your eucalyptus, your pine. And so I really reach for Immune at this time of year when the air is just feeling stale in my space. I know particularly if you're actually experiencing a cough or a cold, you know that sometimes you're just sort of breathing out air into your space and it can feel a little bit stale. So this is great at giving you a refresh, just sort of like a reset of ingredients that are very cleansing, very deodorizing, and actually provide a freshening to the air. So again, not just when you're feeling under the weather, but this time of year is perfect. The second product, the one that was formulated specifically for children, this is Fortified Petite. So it comes in this cute little box. I'm going to open it up. And a couple of features that I'm going to point out. So number 1, you'll notice this actually has a child-proof cap, which is fantastic. So you just push down and twist, have a little sniff. I love that blend. That's what it looks like there. And so Fortified Petite was formulated specifically for children, again, during cough and cold season and for respiratory support. Your ingredients include lavender, myrtle, tea tree, and peppermint. And what you'll notice, the big exclusion here is eucalyptus. So that's the biggest difference between the 2 formulas. And eucalyptus is not indicated for use with children in aromatherapy. There have been some studies done that have showed labored breathing in young children specifically when eucalyptus is sort of around the head or face area. And so in saying that, there's many reasons. Number 1, children, they're actually just quite small. Their actual physical makeup, when you think of their immune system, their respiratory system, it's still in development. Eucalyptus is a very strong essential oil. It's very powerful. It's very effective and better just sort of kept for adult use. So this formula was created, again, specifically for children who are experiencing the same symptoms, but we want to have a product that is safe for use just for them. And then something else that I want to mention when I think about these 2 formulas in particular, and then just essential use in general, is pets. So we do get a lot of questions on the daily from people who are curious about pets and essential oil use. I want to call out that our lovely Fanny has included just over in the video description in the comment section a link directly to our blog on pets and essential oils where you can get a lot of information sort of in general. What I want to mention here is the number 1 ingredient that you want to avoid when you're thinking about pets and essential oil use is tea tree, and tea tree is in both of these formulas. So I'm going to say that these aren't formulas you'd want to use in the home with pets. And what I want to call attention to on the blog in particular is we've created 2 lists that are non-exhaustive. So there may be some additional essential oils not included, but they are what have been generally recognized by safety experts in the industry as yes and no. So that being yes, these are essential oils that we deem safe to diffuse or use topically around pets, and then some that you really want to avoid or use with extreme caution. So I really encourage you to have a look through that blog, have a look through those lists. We're always available for additional questions or anything that you might be curious about, but I do like to call attention to that. We also talk a lot about autonomy and common sense. So the idea that you as a pet owner really know what's best. You have a trusted animal practitioner, someone that you speak to regularly about your pet's health, and you can always let them know what you're thinking of introducing or how you want to use it. Some of the common sense steps that we think about are things like less is more. So for example, starting with a fewer or smaller rather number of drops. Also things like free flowing air. And what that means is just really allowing for your animal to move freely in your space. It means keeping doors open, maybe cracking a window when possible, and just observing behavior. So like I mentioned, we always suggest starting with a trusted animal practitioner. Of course, we are always here to support any questions you might have as well. So those are the products for today to really help support cough and cold season, to keep you just sort of feeling your best when you're not feeling your best. I'm a really big proponent of using some of these products throughout the year to just sort of stay on top of how you're feeling. But I'm curious if you have any questions, comments, or feedback about how you'd like to use some of these products as well. So feel free to hop over to the comments.